The University of Technology Jamaica. Knowledge is not only about what you put in, but also what you get out. The independence of thought, willingness to act, the determination to achieve excellence. Calling cards of the pioneers who are shaping our future through knowledge, through nation building, through community involvement, through individual empowerment. The University of Technology Jamaica. Excellence through knowledge.
Welcome to the Pre-Registration Forum 2024, brought to you by the University of Technology Jamaica. Good morning. I am your host and moderator this morning, Richard Davis. We have so much in store for you, and we are happy that you have joined us here live. And so, going straight into our program, we're going to be inviting right now for prayer Reverend Dr. Stevenson Samuels, who will be going ahead and just inviting the presence of the Lord with us this morning. All right, Dr. Samuels, you can go ahead. All right. All right, Dr. Samuels, you can go ahead and pray.
Am I? Am I? Greetings, sisters and brothers of this great community. As we enter into this time of gathering, a forum, we want to share with you one passage of scripture from the Holy Word. It is found in Proverbs chapter 3, from verse 5 to verse 6. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path." What a beautiful scripture for us to begin this significant time together. Let us pause for prayer at this time. Let us pray. Omniscient and sovereign God, who is the source of all wisdom and knowledge, we give you thanks and praise for your grace, your mercy, and your peace that you have given to us, your children. Dear God, we gather today as a community within the University of Technology, and we gather at the start giving you thanks and praise for your goodness to us, for enabling us to be able to be a part of the University of Technology. In particular, God, we gather in this year's pre-registration forum for prospective students organized through the Office of Admissions and Enrollment Management, OAEM. We thank you, dear God, for this great and strategic department that has done so much to ensure that this important forum is conducted. We also thank you that students can gather literally from around the world to participate this morning in this information sharing initiative. We thank you for the giftings that you have placed upon the technical crew that today is ensuring that this activity goes through in a smooth manner. Thank you. And now, Lord, we present the activities throughout this program to you. We ask that every item, every single element of this great gathering will be meaningful and will be clearly understood by all students and the other persons that will be participating, the stakeholders in this meeting. We also ask that you will endow all the participating persons who will be sharing information today with your grace, with your strength, with your wisdom, and with the necessary knowledge that they need to impart this morning. Now, God, we present this forum to you. We ask for your blessing upon it, and we say thanks for everyone that will be involved in this process today. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you so much, Dr. Samuels, for that. We say amen, hallelujah, because we need the presence of the Lord God in anything that we're doing. So thank you so much. And come to us at this time, we're going to be having a beautiful lady, all right, the one and only. We're going to be hearing from the University Registrar, and that's in the person of Miss Marian Brown, who will be greeting us with a message this morning. Over to you, Miss Brown.
To greet you on behalf of the management and staff of the University of Technology, Jamaica, and in particular, the Division of Student Services and Registry. At this, the Office of Admissions and Enrollment Management's annual pre-registration forum. I would like to start by acknowledging first our moderator, Mr. Richard Davis, our university chaplain, Dr. Stevenson Samuels, members of the management team, our president, Dr. Kevin Brown, our vice presidents, deans, heads of schools, our deputy registrar, Mr. Barry Thomas, our assistant registrar for the Office of Admissions and Enrollment Management, Mr. Clayton Moore. And I want to just thank Mr. Moore for arranging this pre-registration forum. I also want to acknowledge our presenters today, Mrs. Amoy Gokul Hibbert, our Acting Enrollment Officer, and she will come to you later to speak to you about understanding the registration process and the student experience. I also want to acknowledge Dr. Garcia Green McLennan, the Director of Student Financing, and later she will speak to you about everything to do with our student financing arrangements. Mrs. Crystal Barrows McDonald, Client Services Officer of the Students' Loan Bureau, she will also speak to you later on. Dr. Sophia McIntosh, Director of UTech Open, she will also speak to you about our new UTech Open office. Mrs. Sandy Lawrence, our Prior Learning Assessment Coordinator, will also speak to you later. Now, ladies and gentlemen, and I know we have parents here today, this forum is a critical event designed to provide our prospective and franchise students with the necessary information to ensure a smooth transition into university life. We are thrilled to have you join us at this exciting time at UTech Jamaica, especially as we are in a period of transformation. This year in particular, you will meet for the first time our university president, Dr. Kevin Brown, who is the first alumnus to lead our distinguished institution. Over 20 years ago, he would have been in your seats at this time, beaming with anticipation. This milestone is a testament to the opportunities that UTech Jamaica provide and the potential that each of you hold. As you embark on your journey, know that you are joining a place of immense opportunity. Our institution is dedicated to providing you with the resources, the knowledge, and the support necessary for your academic and personal growth. Please pay close attention to our presentations today. These persons are experts in their respective areas and will provide you with crucial information regarding the registration process, student financing, academic advisement, and more. I encourage you to pay close attention, and if you are not clear, you can rewatch the recording of this session multiple times to ensure you capture all the relevant information. This forum is your opportunity to ask questions and to get answers regarding the admissions and enrollment process and anything that you wish to be advised of regarding our university. Now, if you know of anyone who has not yet heard from us, please send us their contact numbers via the message box. Reach out to them and ask them to join us today. Later on, our team will share the contact numbers with you to call. We are anxious to welcome you to our university. Your proactive participation today indicates your commitment to your education. By understanding the processes and the requirements, you will ensure a smooth start in August when you join us here at our university. So sit back, relax, and absorb all the information presented to you today. We look forward to welcome you to UTech Jamaica in a month's time. Best wishes to you for your academic journey, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Miss Marian Brown. You've just heard from the University Registrar. So I tell you, we have so much in store for you for this pre-registration forum. It's UTech, University of Technology Jamaica. Hashtag greatness, hashtag excellence, hashtag the birthplace of greatness. We have so much in store for you. And for those who are watching on YouTube, I want you to tell a friend, tell your mother, tell your father, whosoever might be interested in applying to UTech. I want you to subscribe to the UTech YouTube channel right now. All right, comment, share everything. All right, because we don't want you to miss a beat. Once again, I am your host and moderator, Richard Davis. And so we're going to be moving right along further into the program. Now, I have beside me right now another beautiful, wonderful lady, all right, in the form of Mrs. Amoy Gokul-Hibbert, and she is the acting enrollment officer. So you might be wondering now, Master University, what modules I need to do? How do I choose them? So many things that happen. So this is the lady right here who will be going through some steps to inform and to educate you. So we're going right into it, Mrs. Gokul-Hibbert. Now, I want for you to tell us who are the target audience for the pre-registration forum.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Davis, and
morning.
thank you for having me. All right, so our invitees today would have been students who have applied to the university,
yes,
and I would have gotten some form of acceptance,
great,
whether it be unconditional acceptance, conditional acceptance, or our students who are coming in from the franchises.
Awesome.
So the unconditionally accepted students, Mr. Davis, are those who would have checked all the right boxes.
Great.
They would have met all the requirements for matriculation into the course of study that they would have applied. Now, the conditionally accepted students are those who would have ticked some of the boxes but still have some outstanding documents. So we still ask these students to join us today because we are hoping and we're imploring these students,
yes,
you know, to take in these documents, do what you need to do,
yes,
so we can move you up to an unconditional acceptance. So we want you to get all the information,
yes,
that once you get this, then you're ready to go. Now we have our franchise students, so we'd have partnered with community colleges where
awesome,
students are able to do their associate degrees and then move on to mainstream UTech. So these students would have invited them to be a part of the pre-registration forum because come August, this is where they'll be.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Gokul-Hibbert. Now, another question. Are all invitees required to pay the enrollment commitment deposit?
All right, so in the letters that the students would have gotten, there's a requirement for enrollment and commitment deposit, and students might be saying, why am I required to pay this money? Why am I giving UTech $30,000?
Okay.
No, this $30,000, Richard, actually forms a part of their tuition. No,
Okay.
so we ask that only the students who would have received an unconditional acceptance or franchise students to make this payment, because it's a non-refundable fee. So we ask that once you have met all the requirements, you pay this $30,000, and this $30,000 gives you access for module selection when we open in August.
All right.
So for the unconditional students, we wouldn't advise them to pay this money as yet until you have, we know that you're coming on. We are imploring you. We thank you so much for making UTech the university of choice.
Yes.
You could have applied anywhere, and we are
Definitely.
grateful. We are thankful that you are here. We're looking forward to having you with us.
Yes.
And you have chosen the right institution, the birthplace of greatness.
Yes, thank you so much. So that is very important. So the $30,000 is important. That gives you access. Now, somebody might be wondering now, all right, I got accepted. Okay, what's next step? Because I get a lot of emails pertaining to the registration process. What do I need to do? Where do I need to do? What's my password? What do I need to log in? So guide us through the steps. What are the registration steps?
All right, thank you for that question, Mr. Davis, and that's a very important question, because I know coming into university, everybody's jittery, everybody's anxious, you know, it's a start to your tertiary education. It's so much different from high school. So I know in the chat now everybody is saying, which group are you in? What's your uniform? All those questions, we're here to answer them today. So this is the beginning of the registration process, Mr. Davis. So once you would have gotten that unconditional acceptance, you would have paid your $30,000. You're here today. So right after this forum, is after we leave the live, there are breakout sessions, academic advisement with the colleges and faculties. Now, at these breakout sessions, the faculties will go through their academic advisement processes. They'll go through your uniform, your module selection guides. They'll walk you through how to select your modules. You know, everything specific to the faculties. I know some colleges and faculties, they have to register with council. So you have the nursing council, you have the pharmacy council. So they will go through all of that information with you in the breakout sessions after, Richard. But the most important things what I want the students to get from the academic advisement is their module selection guide. It's very important. So after academic advisement, we're moving into module selection. Now, how do I go? You're going to ask me, so Miss, how do I select module? How do I know what to select? All right, you have paid your ECD. We ask that you give it 2 clear working days. So enrollment opens on August 12th. So if you log into UTech system now, you will not be able to select any module. You will be able to go on, yes, but there's nothing much you can do now. So when module selection opens on August 12th, that is when you'll be able to select in your module. So getting to that point, all right, Mr. Davis, you'd have to log on to the university's website. Once you log on, to the top right-hand corner of the screen, you will click on students. All right. Once you click on the student link where you see web application, you will see the eVision portal. So students portal. So that's the first step. So that's where you'd go to access the students portal. All right. Once you go onto the student portal, you will see a screen looking like this. Now, Miss, what is my username? What is my password? It's the first time I'm going on. All right. So for your username, you would use the ID number that is given in your acceptance letter.
So you're listening. Listen carefully.
Right. So the 7-digit number that's at the top for most of you will start with a 24. Right? So that's your ID number, and we ask that you retain this ID number. This is your identification number that will take you throughout your tenure here at UTech. So you will add your username, will always be your ID number. Now for your password, it's going to be your date of birth. So we ask that you put the date of birth in correctly. So the system will prompt you to put it in day, month, year. And it's 2 digits each. So for argument's sake, you were born on the 1st of January 2014.
Okay.
Instead of 11, you're going to put 010114 because it asks you for only the last 2 digits of your thing. It's going to prompt you, however, to change that password. So once you put that in, it's going to prompt you to change the password to something that you're comfortable with, something that you will remember.
And it will give you the characteristics for the password.
Yes, it will.
Okay.
All right, so moving into module selection now, Mr. Davis. So once you log on, once you go onto the portal, you will see once module selection opens in your student entry, that is where you will find the link that says click here to enroll, module selection link. When you click on that module selection link, Mr. Davis, you will see a screen coming up, something to what is on the left-hand side. So this is where the module selection guide comes in. We ask you to pay keen attention to the module selection guides. Now, the module selection guide, Mr. Davis, it has all the modules that you are required to complete. All right, to complete the course of study to which you would have applied to. The module selection guides also break down the modules by semester, so it will tell you which semesters the modules are offered. It will also break down the modules into year. So we ask that you pay keen attention. It will also tell you what are core requisites, prerequisites, what you need to do now, which are your core modules, which are the general ed modules. So we ask you to pay keen attention when you go on to select. Ensure that you have your module selection guide with you. Sometimes the module codes, they are very similar. So for argument's sake, you might have a module that is BUS 1002 and another module that is BUS 2001. And there are 2 different year group of modules. So we ask that you stay within. So you're year 1 students, you're going to be selecting from the section that says level 1. Now you're going to ensure that you go over your core modules, right? So these are the modules that is course specific. So you're going to look for those modules, ensure that you put them on. Once you go, you'll see the modules populating on the screen. Now the modules are divided into 3 sections. So you have evening sessions, you have morning, you have afternoon. So you can look through to select, you know, what is more convenient for you to attend classes. So that's getting into the module selection. So once you go, you're going to click. Again, now the university, UTech is very flexible. So we allow you to select a minimum of 9 credits, Mr. Davis, and a maximum of 21. Now, also, we know that, you know, persons might not have all the resources that they would need and want to complete within a specific time. So we also, you know, encourage you to select the modules or you're able to pay. So if you can only afford to do 9 credits this semester, do 9 credits. Have a discussion with your academic advisor, your program director. Let them guide you into the steps and know that I'm only doing 9. If you're able to, and it also depends on how much you think you can manage. No, you don't want to bite more than you can chew.
That's true.
Right? So you don't want to be taking on all these credits and, you know, become overwhelmed because university life, there's so many happening. It's a lot of change. It's different. It's totally different from what you would have, you know, been going through in high school.
That's true.
So we ask that you select the modules accordingly, how much you can manage to pay for now, and how much you can manage. So
the credits. So we have the credits, and we've done that.
Yes.
All right, because there's so much involved, as you said, Mrs. Gokuliver. There's so much involved in terms of doing, and some persons want to finish a particular time and want to do. What I really love in terms of what UTech Jamaica does, with particularly in the session, you can do as many as possible because the minimum is 9 credits, the maximum is 21 credits. So that is very good, really loving in terms of how it is that it's becoming easy to navigate through the registration process. So is there anything else left to be done during the registration steps?
All right, so Mr. Davis, after you would have selected your modules, the next step in the module selection process is, you know, you go on, you select your modules, you're comfortable with your selection, you would have viewed your timetable,
Yes.
and you're comfortable with what is there.
Okay.
Now the system will generate a fee for you.
All right.
So based on your selection, an invoice will be generated.
Okay.
All right, so the next step, so once you are done, we ask that you, once you're comfortable,
Yes.
you confirm your modules and you leave the system.
Okay.
Don't try to go back and undo or change any of your selections.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a process, Mr. Davis, if you want to make further changes after you would have confirmed your modules, and we'll go into that later in the presentation.
Okay. Great.
Now, once you have selected, you've generated an invoice, we ask that you give the system at least 2 clear working days, and you will get what we refer to as financial clearance.
All right.
All right, once you have gotten that financial clearance, then we ask that you give the system 2 clear working days, you go back onto the system. In your student entry, you will see a message looking like this, Mr. Davis. So it says, click here to enroll. All right, we refer to it here as our 10-step process.
Okay.
So once you click on it, it will generate some questions, your name, some information that you would have provided to the university.
All right.
So your name, your contact information, your email. It will also, so want you to go through the information, ensure that it's correct. Some sections of it you can make changes.
Okay.
Others you would have to contact the Office of Admissions and Enrollment Management if you see something that is not correct.
Okay.
Now it will
Great.
also take you to a page to show you the modules that you would have selected. We
Okay.
ask that you pay keen attention as well, Mr. Davis, to this section, because we will want to ensure that what you thought that you picked
Yes.
is actually what was selected.
All right. Great.
All right. It also gives you, the university's regulation and policies that we ask you to agree to.
Awesome.
All right. So we are not done yet, Mr. Davis. All right. So, it's a 6-step.
Oh.
So we would have reached the completion of your enrollment message.
Yes.
Once this is completed, you move on to your medical.
All right.
All right. So once you go on the website, you can find the medical form.
Okay.
So you can choose, Mr. Davis, to do your medical here at the university, at our medical center,
All
or
right.
you can go to your private practitioner to do this. So you would download the form from the website, take it to your practitioner,
Mm-hmm.
ask them, you do your medical, they would have to sign off, stamp the form, then you take it back to our medical center.
Okay.
Now you can email it as well, Mr. Davis.
Okay.
And I'll just put up here the email address that you can have the completed form submitted to. Now,
Okay.
some courses of study require that you do diagnostic testing. We ask that you take in those results as well,
Great.
and a copy of your immunization card.
Okay.
All
Great.
right. Once this is completed, then Mr. Davis, the last step is taking your ID.
Okay.
So your identification. So it's six easy steps. Pay your ECD.
Yes.
Get your academic advisement.
Yes.
Go on, make your module selection. Give the system some time, and know that UTech is the only university that gives you financial clearance, and you can start your course of study with paying only $30,000, Richard.
Yes. That's
All
great.
right. So you go on financial clearance. Remember, students, to always go back and complete your enrollment message.
Yes.
All right. So after doing that, you would have submitted your medical, taken your ID. We now consider you a registered student, Mr. Davis.
Yes, so I know, very good. Thank you so much, Mrs. Goldfield-Hibbert. So I know it might sound as if it's a lot of information, but you are correct, all right? Many universities, you have to pay everything first, all right? But just paying only $30,000, I mean, UTech, it has to be the birthplace of greatness, and then you can go along. So another question, Mrs. Goldfield-Hibbert. At times, persons hear module clearance, financial clearance, all right? What does that mean? What's the difference between those two?
All right, good question, Mr. Davis, and I'm happy that you asked, because most times students use the words interchangeably.
Yes.
All right, so module selection clearance after paying the ECD, or the enrollment commitment deposit, is that clearance that you get to allow you to select your modules.
Yes.
Now, financial clearance, however, is that next step in the process that gives you the clearance now to finish your 10-step enrollment.
Yes.
So there's a difference between the two. So one is clearance for module selection,
Yes.
and one is showing that, you know, you're on the way, you would have generated a fee, and we're giving you clearance now to continue your enrollment.
Okay, great.
Yes,
And
Mr.
so with selecting your modules now, because some person can say, yeah man, I got on, I select my modules already, and someone say, Richie, I get on in the select modules. No, I don't know what happened. When can someone start selecting their modules?
All right, so module selection opens on August 12th. So we have, you know, you're coming out of high school and you're used to your terms.
Yes.
Now at university level, we refer to it as semester. So we have semester 1 running from August to December.
Great.
Semester 2, which runs from January to April, May, thereabout, and our summer sessions. No, not all students are required to do a mandatory summer.
Yes.
You have courses of study, however, that require mandatory summer sessions. However, so enrollment begins on the 12th of August, Mr. Davis. So once they go on August 12th, once you have paid your ECD, no, there's no deadline for paying the ECD, Mr. Davis.
Okay.
But we ask and we implore and we encourage you to pay it at least the minimum 2 days before August 12th, so that when the system opens, you'll be there and ready to go.
All right, thank you. So being on time is important. I know as Jamaicans, sometimes we leave it to last minute, but no. All right, so pay the ECD on time. So come August 12th, all right, you'll have the clearance to go ahead and select your modules. So another question, what is the maximum number of credits can a student have?
All right, so the minimum number, Mr. Davis, for semester 1 and semester 2 is 9.
Okay.
So we don't allow students to do less than 9 credits. So sometimes that equates to about 3 modules.
All right.
All right, so and the maximum is 21 credits. However, there's some courses of study, especially dental student, the doctor of medical dentistry.
Yes.
Their course of study require that they do more.
Okay.
They allow them to do more. But for most students, the maximum is 21. So minimum 9, maximum 21.
Great. So I'm coming from another university or another institution. All right. When can I submit? Because, for example, I've done some courses at another institution and I have some credits, and I want to see how best this can help me in terms of probably cutting down the time. So when can someone submit their transfer of credits or their module exemption?
All right. Thank you for that question, Mr. Davis. So we are aware that students will joining us from other institutions and would have completed some credits, and we wouldn't want them to lose those credits. So yes, you can apply for your transfer of credits here. The process begins in August. So once you'd have paid your ECD, you'd have become a student, we ask that you fill the forms out with your supporting documents, submit them to your faculties, your colleges and faculties. Other supporting documents that they might require are the course of study dias.
Okay.
So they can evaluate the modules to see how much of the equivalent it has to UTech courses of study. So we ask them, to put their supporting documents together with the transfer of credit form. We ask that the forms be filled out in triplicate, submitted to your faculties. The respective course lecturers and program directors will evaluate these forms.
Yes.
Once they're within the 7 years permissible by UTech.
Okay.
What do I mean by that? You would have had to do the module within 7 years from today.
Okay.
So if you did the courses 10 years ago, no, I'm sorry, will not be able to accept those credits.
Okay.
Within 7 years, and also to note, we do not accept C- from external institutions.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
But, if you have passed your courses within the 7 years, feel free to fill out your forms. There are implications also for the class of award that you can receive depending on the amount of transfer of credit that you do.
Okay.
So we ask that you bear this in mind as well when you're filling out this form. But again, it goes back to academic advisement. Speak to your academic advisor, let them know your intentions, fill out the form, then they will submit it to the Office of Admissions and Enrollment for final processing.
All right.
All right, and also to note, sorry, Mr. Davis.
That's all right.
It's a one-time process, so it has to be done in your first year.
Okay.
first year, it's free of cost, but it must be done in your first year of study.
Okay. And after it is now, after it is that someone has selected and confirmed their modules, somebody might make a mistake to say, oh, I shouldn't be doing that module, I need to change that module. After they've confirmed and selected their modules, can you go on and do changes?
Yes, Mr. Davis. So we have what we call our add drop platform.
All right.
Now, with the add drop platform, you go back to the website, the university's website, in the same section where you found the student portal, where you see web application. Right under, you'll see something that says add drop.
Okay.
All right. This is where we encourage students to go to make those changes. So if it is that you wanted to add another module, or if you wanted to the change, whatever change you want to make, whether you want to add, whether you want to take off, that's the platform that you would use. Now, to access that platform, Mr. Davis, for the first time, we ask that you contact Tier 1 support at UTech. They will give you a password to use. So you'll use your ID number and your password to get access to that platform. All the modules that are available for you within the given semester is listed there. So if you decide to add, the module, once it's been offered, it will populate. You can request to add. Your program director will approve or deny the request. And it comes to the Office of Admissions and Enrollment for final process. If you want to take off the module, the same process applies.
And just one thing, is there a cost to do an add drop?
No, there's no additional cost, Mr. Davis. So if you would have generated an invoice from your first set of selection, and you decided to take off a module, we will regenerate the fee to exclude that module. If it is that you've added an additional module, we'll regenerate the fees as well to include the cost of that added module.
All right, thank you so much, Mrs. Gokul Hibbert. All right, so we've learned so much about the registration process and everything else. All right, and so we are going to our questions right now, because I know you've been asking our questions. So we have a few questions right there. All right, so one of the questions that we're seeing is, when is the ECD deadline? All right, I think we already said that already. There's no clear deadline to paying the ECD. ECD means the enrollment commitment deposit. There's no deadline to the ECD, but we ask that you pay it 2 days prior to registration. Yes. Because registration opens on August 12th.
August 12th, and it runs to August 25th.
Excellent. Now, the other question is the steps. What are the steps in paying the ECD?
All right, so the ECD payment can be made at Paymaster Bill Express using your ID number. Again, that number that's included in your acceptance letter.
Yes.
You go to this institution, you use your name, your ID number, and the tuition or ECD payment, and you can make your payments there.
Okay, great. And I know sometimes when they're going to pay the ECD, a lot of questions are asked, what is my account number? So the account number is your applicant number that you would have seen in your acceptance letter. And you can pay it at any Bill Express, any Paymaster, any JN, anywhere you are in the world. I think you can also do it online as well.
Yes. All right. And we'll have the Department of Finance
who can do those
give
things.
Us further information.
And so another question they'll ask, what are credits?
All right, credits. Credits are what make up a module. So for each module or subject that you would have referred to it in high school, we have what we call credits or credit load. So for argument's sake, for some modules you have 1 credit, 2 credit, 3 credit. So it's a component of what builds up or the level that the module is at.
All right.
All right.
All right. So I think that is it for our questions. All right. Not seeing any more questions populate. I think that is it for our questions. All right. All right. And so we have another question here. What about people who's getting sponsorship? How does the ECD works?
All right, so the Department of Student Finance will look at that, but we are still asking a student make the ECD payment, because sometimes the sponsorship doesn't come over quick enough. So we ask that you pay the ECD, and whatever funds you would have paid, Richard, stays on your account. So if there's additional money on the account, it remains on it. So whatever is used will extract, and the additional funds is on the system.
Okay.
So again, I just want to reiterate, our registration date is August 12th to August 25th. So that's when you can go on and start selecting your modules.
Okay. All right. And so thank you so much, Mrs. Amoy Gokul Hibbert, the acting enrollment officer. Tell you, I'm so excited. All right, I left university a good while now. I'm excited. I feel like I want to come and just sign up and start a course. I don't know which course at UTech, but I just feel like I just want to come and just start a course. So thank you so much, Mrs. Amoy Gokul Hibbert, for explaining the registration steps, the process, credits, all of those stuffs. All right, and thank you once again for joining us. All the best and take care.
Thank you, Mr. Davis, for having me. It
You're
was
welcome.
a pleasure.
You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. All right.
The University of Technology Jamaica. Knowledge is not only about what you put in, but also what you get out. The independence of thought, willingness to act, the determination to achieve excellence. Calling cards of the pioneers who are shaping our future through knowledge, through nation building, through community involvement, through individual empowerment. The University of Technology Jamaica. Excellence through knowledge.
You know them, the movers, the shakers, the people making a difference, who never shy away from a challenge, who are never afraid to dirty their hands, to jump in and get things done, who are never afraid to fail, to take a risk, to learn. You know them and aspire to be like them. And you can, because there's always room for greatness. Apply today. University of Technology Jamaica, the birthplace of greatness.
All right, welcome back to the Pre-Registration Forum 2024, brought to you by the University of Technology Jamaica. Excellence through knowledge. I am your host and moderator this morning. I am Richard Davis. All right, so if you're just joining us, you just missed Mrs. Amoy Gokul Hibbert, the acting enrollment officer, giving us and taking through some steps in terms of the registration process. And now we know with higher education comes money, right? Yeah, man, money. And so we have the lovely lady right here, and she is from the Department of Student Financing, all right, which is, her name is Dr. Garcia Green McLennan. She is the director, all right, for the Department of Student Financing, and she is going to be speaking to us as it pertains to things relating to student financing. Welcome, Dr. McLennan. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm very good. Thank you for having
Wonderful.
me.
I love the green. So
Thank
bright
you.
and colorful.
Yes.
Looking nice. So, first question, all right. What are the services provided by the Department of Student Financing?
Okay, wonderful. Well, we are a full service department that focuses on a number of financial support services and
Yes.
programs.
All right.
So we provide customer service support at the undergraduate and postgraduate level. And then we also provide financial aid through our student welfare programs,
All
which will
right.
include grants, support for lunch for
Great.
students who need to get to school. And then we have a robust student work program we call Earn and Study.
Awesome.
And students are able to work and earn, and that can be used to supplement their stay here at UTech Jamaica.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Now, what are some key things that a student should consider when it is that they want to take up tertiary education, particularly here at UTech?
Right, that's a very good question. Well, this is a mammoth task, and so being prepared will get you ahead.
Yes.
We do recommend that students do the research.
Definitely.
Means that you have to think about this as a project just like any other.
True.
You need to find out what are the areas of funding. Where can I get money to help me while I'm
True.
here? You need to understand, of course, what the university's requirements are.
Yes.
And you need to see how long you will need to be here for and what are the miscellaneous charges that are likely to come about while you are here.
True.
Students need to ask the right questions. So, if you do the research, questions will come.
Sure.
And at least these will be informed questions that will help to guide you. Right questions of the right person will help a student go farther quicker.
Sure.
We recommend that a student absolutely prepares a plan sit with your parent. If you're a mature student, sit with your spouse. Have a conversation about what it will take for you to do this, because we want you to complete successfully.
True.
And then that plan has to be accompanied with a budget.
Yes.
Right? Try to cost it, and let's explore all funding options, grants, scholarships, loans,
Yes.
everything to make it work.
Yeah, because a lot of persons out there, they want to, continue or to go into tertiary education, but one of the things that they considered, and they see the money and the tuition and say, no, I can't, which it's too much. So I thank you so much for that. Pertaining to deadlines though, are there any deadlines that students should know about?
Yes, there are deadlines, and you would have heard a set of them earlier. When we start registration on August 12th, the registration period closes in that same month. But then in terms of fee payment, one of the most important deadlines that a student needs to know is what we call our census date. That is a date when we look to see those who have committed. They would have already paid their enrollment commitment fee, and we would say to you, now is the time to prepare to start the payment. So one of our payment deadlines is due at that point in time, the first key one. And that's when the student settles in to say, yes, I will be here for the semester, and this is what I'm going to do in terms of my payment. So we expect them by that deadline to at least have completed that enrollment commitment deposit. We expect that they would have selected and confirmed their modules, and that they're working towards completing the payment of that first installment.
All right, thank you. Pertaining to the tuition, is it that persons have to pay all the tuition at one time?
Okay, yes, that's another good question. Though we'd love to collect everything at once, we understand the realities of our situation.
Yes.
So no, students do not have to pay everything at once.
Great.
Let's start with what we know. So we've already discussed that a deposit is required, and we call that the enrollment commitment deposit. It's your way of saying that the space that I've been offered, I'm committing that I will be here. I'm accepting that, and you would have given us that 30,000.
Yes.
Now, for the rest of the tuition, if you are able to, you can pay everything at once.
Okay.
And for doing that, we afford those students a rebate. Yeah, we give some money back. So we give, and it varies. So it's a function of the amount you pay. So it's 2% of the total tuition that is given back as a rebate, as an incentive for those who can pay on time and in full. But if you're having a difficulty and you can't do that, you are fine. We offer you, I think, the most flexible payment arrangement that you could find.
Yes.
We allow the students to pay a semester's tuition over a period of 4 months. That's the entire duration of a semester.
Awesome.
Right. So there are 4 installments. There are no interest. Right? Not like a furniture company. Everything is done without that additional cost, as long as you maintain those deadlines.
That is great.
You would be good. And the deadlines are very easy to remember. It's literally the last Friday of every month in that semester. So in September, you would have a deadline, in October, in November, in December, and as I said, last Friday. And we put it that way because we understand how money flows.
Yes.
And so we want it to be around about the pay date when persons have negotiated salaries and can, in fact, make those payments without any difficulty.
Okay, thank you so much. I really like that in terms of the flexibility of the payment plans. And as you said, money is something that is important when it comes to discussing education.
Absolutely.
Another question, Dr. McLennan, how can a student determine his or her cost for their program?
All right, so because this is a flexible system, you know that 2 students, even in the same program, in the same level or year, as it's called, might have 2 different tuition fees. Because you have to see the approach here as like a buffet.
Yes.
Where you actually, you pick up what you can eat, and some belly bigger than some. So too with the tuition.
Yes.
We want you to be able to pursue your education at a pace that you can afford.
Yes.
And so it's about your choices. So your lower end is a minimum of 9 credits. That's sometimes 2 modules to a high of 21. That could be 6 or so modules.
All right.
So depending on what you've placed on that plate, each module will have a cost associated with it. So you build your plate, and that's how you're building the cost.
Great.
So in terms of how that works, the student is given a guide by their faculty. They're going to go through that process. They'll
Yes.
see the menu options,
Yes.
and then they'll be guided to ensure that they have a balanced plate, and they'll pick those modules. Each module, the system will show you the cost associated with that module. So you can say, well, I think I have too much on my plate, I need to take something off.
Yes.
All right, so once the modules are on, you would have selected them, you must confirm. It's that confirmation that's going to allow the system to generate an invoice for you so you can see what is your tuition for this particular semester.
Okay.
Once that is done,
Yes.
then you are now able to move towards payment, which you can do in one pay
Okay.
or in 4 payments.
Okay, very good. Now, are there any charges to students that students should be aware of?
Yes, there are some charges, because if the students pay on time, well, all
Yes.
is well. But if you go outside of the stated deadlines and you have not brought to our attention any intervening problem that would have prevented you, then automatically the system would generate a small surcharge
Okay.
for each installment that you have missed.
All right.
So it's really up to you. This is at the university level, it's really a function of your choices. So a lot
Yes.
of growing up is going to take
That's
place
true. That's true.
here for students. But if the student follows the steps, as I've explained to them,
Yes.
if they pay attention to the deadlines, the fee payment plan with the deadlines will be posted on the portal. The portal is their access point for everything.
Yes.
And it's easy to remember, the last Friday of every month, and you make your payment. It don't matter if it's 12 p.m. on that day. If you've made it, you're good.
Okay.
Right? There will be no additional features, nothing else added on.
Okay.
The only other thing I'd like to mention, and this is very important, for all institutions, and tertiary is no different, we have a set of small fees called miscellaneous fees.
All right.
They're not linked to your module. They're not charged every semester. It's a once per academic year charge, and they're
All right.
called miscellaneous fees. And they're just that. They're miscellaneous. They're in addition to your core fees. And these fees are a composite of services that the student gets to benefit from by making a small contribution. The fees have to be paid in your first semester. So if semester 1 is your first semester, it
Yes.
becomes due. So when you finish generating that invoice,
Yes.
you'll see that total and you'll see another little charge, which is the miscellaneous fee. And if you're semester 2, maybe you're not starting in this semester to come,
right.
but you're starting in semester 2, you're going to see charge then, but it will be only once for the academic year. And these fees are important because they cover, and this is very important, life, health, and accident insurance.
Okay.
And I can tell you, we lost someone just the other day, and this is what chipped in to allow
Wow.
us to actually support the family in
Okay.
terms of final arrangements. It could be an accident. It could be just accessing medical services. You're going to get a health card. Many students would not have had one.
Yes.
So this covers that. You're able to access a wide variety of journals and resources from our library. That's the jam copy fee. By contributing to your students' union and student welfare, you're able to call on a number of services. And so those fees are mandatory.
Yes.
They're inescapable, and most sponsorship will not cover it.
Okay.
And that's the reason why we wanted that little deposit, because it's going to go straight towards covering these fees
Okay,
first.
great, great. In the position that I work in, a lot of times I get emails from students or persons who saying that what or where can I go to get funding? So in terms of funding for my education, are there places or some things that you can suggest for persons who are listening funding their education?
Yes, yeah, persons are always on the search for funding, and it's quite an investment at this
Yes.
level, but it does pay off. I have to say, we must start though
Yes.
with our personal resources. This is not something we happen upon. We need to plan. We have to get into the habit of planning. Even if you don't have a foolproof plan and you don't have everything figured out, plan. So start with your personal resources. What have you saved?
Yes.
Right? Even if it's for a year, what have we put away to help with even the ECD? Let's look at our community partners. This is a culture where you throw your partner, you throw a hand.
Yes.
It works. It's been effective. perspective, lots of us went through school and university with partners.
That's true.
We're not discounting those. You know,
Yes.
call up auntie or uncle overseas. Listen, we're doing this for the family. We're heading to university,
That's true.
right? Higher education. And so we could use a little investment here,
Yes.
right? And for a lot of us, our employers will have, you know, certain programs where we can benefit or our children can benefit if they're the ones in university.
Okay,
And you can get a
great.
grant. So we want to start there with what we can do.
True.
But having done that, there are quite a number of areas where you can, if you did that research, like I said, Google
Yes.
is your best friend. Put it in, ask Google to tell you, right? So we have in the Department of Student Financing a 6-point plan that we recommend, right? We want you to look at what the government has to offer, and there is a plethora of assistance that you can get. Scholarships are available through various ministries, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Finance offers for public sector workers, the Police Federation for children of policemen. There are programmatic assistance that you get for volunteering and being a part of community-based organizations like JAMVAT and a number of other programs, you know, that you can check in. We even get a lot of assistance from members of parliament in their constituents who try to put something in for those in the community. So you want to explore all those options.
Yes.
Of course, we have some of our excellent private sector partners who have been coming alongside us for years. And you know the big ones, you see them.
Yes.
Foundations, once the company has a foundation, you
That's
can
true.
be sure there's money there for you. NCB, JPS,
JMMB, I've seen so much of
JMMB,
them.
Sagicor, Pan-Caribbean, Lottery, Jamaica.
so much.
There's a lot. Do
Yeah.
the research. And then, of course, UTech itself has its own set of offerings that we will publish every year that you can apply for. How can I overlook the very, very important? That's free money on the left side there, right? Once you look for the free one, you have to still know, take into account. Remember I said all options.
True.
It's better to apply for that student's loan and never use it than not to have applied and
That's
need
true.
it. So we recommend you look at the facilities they have. They have so much to offer. The interest rate is the lowest anywhere. No other financial institution can beat that for an educational loan. So you may need to look at a loan there.
Yes.
And they offer you a dual product where you can get a targeted loan with the moratorium. You don't have to pay until you finish. But if your course is expensive or for some reason you're not able to come through for the targeted, you can take what they call a pays loan. It's
Okay.
very quick, and you'll hear more about that. And then, of course, we're not going to leave out the credit unions and the bank, but you see where I
Yes.
put them on the list, on the bottom, right?
Yes.
Because we want you to look for the free money first,
True, true.
look at the loans that you could take, that's at
Yes.
the best interest rate, and then if you have to, you go and find some other products. So there are quite a number of options. Now is the time. Look for scholarships to go, the Gleaner Scholarship to go, list all available scholarships at the
True.
tertiary level, and you can look by company and just go on the ministry's website.
All right, great. And for someone who has good grades, someone who has A's and just doing so well, all right, are there financial assistance for persons like those?
Oh, absolutely. This is the birthplace of
Greatness.
So once students are performing great, we want to ensure that they're able to access support. Listen, it's not easy.
Yes.
And once we have students that are performing above average, so let's start there. This is for high scholastic achievement.
That's true.
You need to be doing well. What's that for us? It's at least a 3.0 or above. If you're in the high school, you're coming from high school, that's like a B+ student.
Yes.
Right? So we're talking B+, A-, and of course your A's, and it's competitive.
Yes.
So the better the grade, the better your chances.
That is true.
The university's website, www.utech.edu.jm/scholarships, and you'll get the most current listing. And we have well over 100 scholarships that can be accessed across all our programs over multiple years. Just look for it, look for what your program is, look for
Yes.
the level, and if you don't see anything specified, then you know it's for you as well.
Definitely.
And apply. 3 key things that we look for when we're selecting someone for a scholarship, not just the academics, but it is the base.
Yes.
But everybody coming in bright. So what are your leadership qualities? What have you done in your church, in your community?
Yes.
How involved are you? And then we do put a strong emphasis on that needs-based assessment as well to determine how we award. So yes, UTech is doing its part along with its partners to support.
Right. So there are so many other there are so many options available, and as you mentioned, over 100 scholarships.
Yes.
All right. So you have no way to say that there's no option. There's option, as you said earlier, plan and research. Now, another question, Dr. McLennan, are there any other options, all right, for financial aid on campus?
Yeah, again, another good question. There are options. Boy, I tell you, the product that we have here at UTech is a unique one and truly great. And I'm not just saying it because I love the place, but because we have really molded some remarkable people, and we have supported them through the journey. So we also have another arm of our operations called student welfare.
Okay.
And what we do here, you remember that contribution I told you about in the miscellaneous fees?
Yes.
Well, we collect it from the majority and we pool it and channel it towards our most vulnerable.
That's great.
Because there is some need that is just really even below baseline.
Yes.
And those persons ought not to be denied the opportunity to be their best selves because of that.
Yes.
So we want to support those persons in dignity. You know, it's done in a way where there is no fanfare.
Yes.
There we have a very good referral system. We have an easy assessment process, and then we work to support the students. So we provide assistance in a number of areas.
Yes.
It might not be large in terms of the dollar value,
yes,
but it is consistent and it makes a difference. So we can provide small grants to help you with your tuition, boarding. We do offer a good lunch subsidy program, and we've partnered with NCB.
Yes.
And so a lot of times the first debit card that a student has come through us because we have ensured that each student gets an NCB key card.
Okay.
And so we're able to add the funds for the lunch every month, and that student can use it at any merchant that they choose. And they can transition that into a regular debit card once they have you know, left UTech. It's an easy process.
Yes.
And we do also provide bus subsidy. We have worked with JUTC as well to be able to issue bus cards to our students to help them to get to school. Once they get here, you get something to eat. The rest is, we'll work out the rest.
Okay.
So that has worked very well over the years, and the program continues to grow from strength to strength. The management is committed to the student welfare program. And then I think the most popular program that is on campus from our department is the Earn and Study program.
Yes.
It's what universities call a student work program. For us, it's Earn and Study. And this program is uniquely administered because we don't leave it to departments to find a student if they want.
Yes.
We centrally recruit, we train, we place, we evaluate, and then we do a recommendation for you. So can you imagine that you start here and 4 years later when you're graduating, you're leaving with 4 years of work experience to go with your degree?
That's good.
If you've not worked before, and you can put that on your resume and we'll support it. So our program runs right through the academic year.
Yes.
Our students are hard at work right now. They work a 40-hour week
Okay.
in the summer because they're off, and then in semesters 1 and 2 they work flexibly. And that program, I think, is just one of the hallmark programs of us here at UTech, and it's been quite good.
All right, let me tell you something. You see, UTech is not a place, all right? Which university has so much excellence, or it is that they're not just building the theory, but I know that one of UTech's Jamaica mantra is that they make them work ready.
Yes.
So you're working while you're learning and being trained and being prepared for the work world. And so another question for you, Dr. McLennan, where can persons pay their tuition fees?
Okay, well, we have a number of agency partners that have come alongside, and the beauty is that they cover the entire island, right? Where you pay your fees matters.
True.
You cannot just walk into any financial entity because they exist and give them your money. They'll take it and it will be kept for you, but it will not get to your account. So you must go to the designated institutions and companies that we have partnered with for the purpose of tuition payment.
All right.
So, of course, Paymaster and Bill Express, very easy, get in, get out.
Yes.
And they are on every corner that you go. You can find a Paymaster or Bill Express.
Yes.
We also have our 2 banking partners, National Commercial Bank, that's an island-wide network as well,
All right.
and JN Bank as our 2 banking partners. I just want to say that as Mrs. Gokul Hibbert had said, you see that ID number?
Yes.
If you're making a payment and it doesn't require an ID number, don't proceed. You know that something is wrong with the payment,
True.
meaning you're not at the right place or you're not using the right method at that place.
Yes.
Any payment that does not have an ID number attached, it will move from that institution to us, but it will not get to your account.
Yes.
It's an odd item sitting down waiting on somebody to do something. So that
Yes.
number that's on your application form, you're to use it for all payments.
All right.
And once you have made the payment, please ensure that you look back at the receipt and check that it is the same ID number that you gave,
Yes.
the rep that they have actually placed on it, because a change in one number could mean that
True.
my money is in your account.
True. And I've seen that.
Yes,
I've seen that.
yes.
I've seen that where that happens. I'm just really loving how it is that the Department of Student Financing is giving so many options to persons in terms of funding their education while it is that they're here, how it is that they can earn. Because I remember when it is that I went to university, the only thing that was popular at the time was the earn and study.
Yes.
There were no other options. And I remember when I went there and asked about it, the money was just too much. And I said, hey, that was it. But I'm loving where UTech Jamaica has given that option where students can earn while it is that they're learning, and making it available with grants and scholarships and everything else. Now, with all of that being said, Dr. McClennan, if somebody wants to reach out to the Department of Student Financing, how can they reach out and get in contact?
Okay, that's a good question. We have some specific emails linked to our services, but the one to note, if you can't remember any of the others,
Yes.
Fin Customer Support at utech.edu.jm.
Yes.
That's our main service platform. Fin Customer Support, Fin as in finance, Fin Customer Support at utech.edu.jm. And that platform, once you have sent an email in, you'll get an automated response, and that
Yes.
response will give you some direction so that
All
you
right.
can now specify exactly what the nature of your query is, and so we could route it to
All
the
right.
right place. But we do have some others displayed on the screen. We have one for graduate students, Grad Student Fin at UTech. We have, if you want an estimate, so right now you're going to go look for sponsorship elsewhere, and they say, well, I need to know the cost. We know you haven't selected those modules as yet.
Yes.
We're happy to give you an estimate of what we think it will be based on the program you're in and the
Okay.
level that you're at. And that's free of cost. You send an email to feeestimate at UTech. You will get that automated response, follow the instructions, and tell us who you want it to go to, and it will be prepared for you at no cost.
All right.
Right. And anything financial aid, student welfare that you're interested in, something that you need assistance with, the email is studentwelfare@utech.edu.jm.
All right, thank you, Dr. McClennan. So money matters, money matters, money matters. All right, so I know that we might be having some questions in the chat. I don't know if we have some questions in the chat right now, because there's so much going on right now at the moment. And so we do have a question. It says here, how much is the miscellaneous fees?
Okay, well, the miscellaneous fees are pretty close. It ranges it varies between faculties, because there are some faculties where a little bit more is needed based on their program, where they have heavy labs and so on.
All
But
right.
for this year, it is in that 30,000 range.
Okay.
So once you've paid the ECD, you would have covered the majority of it. Only a small portion would be left.
All right.
So for most faculties for this year, it is approximately $30,000.
Okay.
But there are a couple other faculties like law, some of them in the health sciences, where they need special resources, certain
Yes.
kinds of books
Yes.
that are specific to the trade,
Yes.
and they're going to keep those for the whole of their tenure.
Okay.
Those might have a little more. But typically, the miscellaneous fees for this academic year would be about $30,000.
Okay,
And it's
great.
once for the year that will be paid.
Okay, great. All right, so we do have another question as well. All right, so the question says, please repeat the campus job options.
Okay. All right. So you can work on campus in 2 batches.
All right.
Right? For our first year students, which is our primary audience this morning,
Yes.
your batch for year 1 will be the summer of your first year.
Okay.
That you'll be eligible to work. Once you're coming in, we need to ensure that you're settled, you have sorted out yourself. You kind of get your foot wet here on campus because it's a whole new experience
True,
being a
that's true,
university
that's
life
true.
with no teacher saying come to class and
Yes.
so on. You have to ensure that that's going well. So summer, which is between May and August, we'll take our first batch of first year students for the Earn and Study program.
Okay.
After that, you are free to choose which batch works for you.
Okay.
Some persons work in semesters 1 and 2, and then they go overseas to work in the summer. Others prefer it in the reverse. They are here, they prefer to be here in the summer, and they want 1 and 2 to focus on their studies.
Okay.
But the choice is yours. So
Okay.
2 batches each year,
Yes.
either semester 1 and 2, and you work flexibly around your schedule. So once you've gotten your timetable, when you're finished with your enrollment,
Yes.
then you would take it to your supervisor. And the culture on the campuses, we love our students and they love their student workers. So they literally build the work around your timetable, and it works beautifully for us.
Thank you, Dr. McLennan. So we have 2 questions right now. So we have first one, what are the boarding fees?
Okay, so the boarding fees, we have a special unit that gives you information on the boarding fees.
Alright.
And the fees vary from hall to hall, and it also varies depending on whether you have a room that has double or triple occupancy.
Okay.
So I think what we can, the accommodations unit, which is on the Student Services building, they're able to give you, once you've sent your application in, that's where you start.
Yes.
You indicate an interest, then they will be able to give you the fees, and the fees would be based on the spaces that are available
Okay.
in terms of where you want to be
All
on the
right, thank
campus.
you. And the number of scholarships a student can get, is there a limit? Is there a maximum, minimum?
No, a student can get multiple scholarships, but we do have a guideline. Remember the scholarship, you're not to profit,
Yes.
right? So you are to satisfy the financial need that you have.
Yes.
So a student can have multiple scholarships, not exceeding 500,000, and you can get 1 scholarship of any value. So some people have $1 million scholarships, right?
That's good.
And that can cover tuition, books, living. The donor determines what that money is to be used for.
Yes.
So the quick answer, 1 scholarship of any value, or multiple scholarships not exceeding 500,000.
All right, thank you so much. All right, and so there you have it. You just heard from the beautiful, well-dressed lady, all right, from the director from the Department of Student Financing, Dr. Garcia McLennan. All right, I'm telling you, there's so much happening right now. You are joining us live with the University of Technology Jamaica Pre-Registration Forum 2024. And before we go to a quick break, all right, I just want you just to blow up the chat right now. I want for you to tell us in the chat what program it is that you will be doing come August here at UTech Jamaica. So blow it up, live it up, and remember to share. Tell somebody who's interested in starting tertiary education that they should come here right now on the YouTube page for the University of Technology. So tell us, what program will you be doing come August? You're joining us here live for the Pre-Registration Forum 2024, the University of Technology Jamaica, the birthplace of greatness. Thank you, Dr. McLennan.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
At the University of Technology Jamaica, knowledge is not only about what you put in, but also what you get out. The independence of thought, willingness to act, the determination to achieve excellence. Calling cards of the pioneers who are shaping our future through knowledge, through nation building, through community involvement, through individual empowerment. The University of Technology Jamaica, excellence through knowledge.
You know them, the movers, the shakers, the people making a difference, who never shy away from a challenge, who are never afraid to dirty their hands, to jump in and get things done, who are never afraid to fail, to take a risk, to learn. You know them and aspire to be like them. And you can, because there's always room for greatness. Apply today. University of Technology Jamaica, the birthplace of greatness.
All right, I am your host, Richard Davis. Now, before we went, tell me in August, and the chat is blowing up. So we have persons doing engineering, we have person doing business administration, we have computer science, we have nursing, tourism and hospitality. Tourism and hospitality people. So if you're doing tourism and hospitality, blow up the chat, blow up the chat, blow up the chat, blow up the chat. All right. So I'm seeing, oh yes, I'm seeing my hospitality and tourism management people. So much is going on. We're seeing dietetics and nutrition, environmental health. All right. It will take the whole day to be here, so we can't call out everybody, but yes, it's blowing, it's going. So yes, I'm seeing the interaction. To keep the interaction continue going. All right, so we are here live, UTech night, hashtag UTech excellent, hashtag UTech knowledge. And so coming to us, we just heard from Dr. McLennan pertaining to the Department of Student Financing. And right here with us now, we have the man, all right, Mr. Chevron Harvey, Mr. Chevron Harvey from Students Loan Bureau. And if it is that you have done or you're doing higher education, you know SLB is one of the common names that you need to hear. And so we have a few questions here. So Mr. Harvey, tell us about the loan offerings that is available there at SLB for persons wanting to continue or going towards pursuing tertiary education.
Well, I'll be happy to assist you with that question, because here at the Students Loan Bureau, what we do is to finance higher education.
Yes.
And so we have a few tailor-made loan products that will suit the need of both those who are pursuing their tertiary level education. And so we have two loan products. This is a targeted loan and a pay-as-you study loan facility. Okay. A targeted loan, which is the most common and renowned. Yes. For this loan product, you can access up to $1 million per academic year.
Great.
$1 million per academic year at an interest rate of 7.8 in school, 9.5 in repayment. Okay. And that's just wonderful. That's like the lowest interest rate island-wide in comparison to a lot of other institutions that finance tuition. Okay. Okay. Also, for this loan product, you have 15 years to repay. And conditions apply. You may the life of the loan may be up to 20 years. Okay. Because conditions apply. So that's 15 years or 20 years, including your time in school. Okay. As well. It's the basics. All we need is a few documents. The application process must be done online at www.slbja.com. Okay. Also, we have the pay-as-you study loan facility. For this loan facility, the life of the loan is 7 years. You can access up to $1 million per academic year. Okay. No guarantor is required for any of our loan products. Okay. So $1 million per academic year. The life of the loan is 7 years to repay. The interest rate is 6% per annum. Okay. 6% per annum. That's good. All you need is a principal borrower, which means that your parent can apply on your behalf. This loan product is actually tailored for persons who are employed professionals who seek higher education as well, because we want to consider the entire Jamaican diaspora. We want to see a developed nation, a developed family, and developed community as well. And so we have those two loan products that can help suit the need and help you to finance and make your dreams a reality. Okay, so thank you for that, Mr. Harvey. So I have identified the program that I want to do. I've identified the school that I want to go to. Now, in terms of the application, well, not the process, but in terms of the time, when can I go ahead and apply for a loan at SLB? You can apply right now, because guess what? The portal is currently open. All right. You can visit us at www.slbja.com www.slbja.com. That's www.slbja.com.
Okay.
You got that right. So you can just type that in the chat even as we speak.
Okay.
www.slbja.com.
Right.
Okay. The portal is open. Visit our website, go on the customer portal, log in, create a registration, complete the registration process. That also, you'll need your ID. You'll also need your TRN as well when completing the registration process. Create a login. You'll also need a mobile number and an email, active email and active mobile number to actually start the application process.
Okay, so anywhere I'm in the world, I can go on the portal now and start the application process. All right, another thing, what documents do I need in terms of the application process? What are the specific documents is required?
Well, it's the basic documents. For example, we're going to need your ID, your TRN, your address verification, as well as the income verification for the person who is financially responsible for you. Even if you're financially responsible for yourself, you can provide us with your last three pay slips or a job letter. So that's your ID, TRN, income verification, address verification as well. We're also going to need a certified copy of your birth certificate as well.
All right, thank you so much. No, I remember.
Just to add.
Sure, go ahead.
We're going to also need a certified passport size photograph. There's also going to be a few other documents that we'll provide on our platform. When completing the application, you'll notice that the documents that are required will be ticked with an asterisk.
Okay.
So it's pretty self-explanatory. You'll see what documents are needed.
Okay.
There are a few documents that you're going to have to generate by yourself, which is quite easy. Select generate, download, have it signed and certified by just stuff the piece, then upload, and that's it. Submit the application.
Oh, great. Now, another question. This is very important, all right? Do I need guarantors for my loan? Do I still need guarantors for my loan?
Well, I'm so proud to make this announcement. I've made the announcement before, and guess what? Effective April 1st, 2024, no guarantor is required for loan products.
So round of applause. Round of applause, everybody.
No guarantor. No guarantor.
Round of applause in the chat.
No guarantor. Type in the chat, no guarantor required. No guarantor is required. So we want to make the process easier. We want to make the process more feasible. We understand the challenges that are being experienced by our customers, and finding a guarantor is one of those challenges.
Yes, it can be.
And so we want to make the process easier. We want to help to bridge the gap between your dreams and reality here at Columbia.
Okay. All right. So after completing the online application, what's the next step? What comes next?
So after you submit the application, this means actually that you upload the relevant document, you submit the application, you pay the fees, right? What will happen afterwards is that the application process will go through a vetting stage.
All right.
Internally. We'll also need to verify as well a registration with UTech, which is a tertiary institution. Here at the Students' Loan Bureau, we consider it to be approved tertiary institution. A lot of persons ask this question. What does ATI mean? It's an approved tertiary institution. So we will confirm registration also with your school.
All right.
Get the necessary documents. And once everything is okay, we'll push your application forward to have disbursement in place.
Okay. And I'm glad that you mentioned disbursement. So after it is that I've applied and say for argument's sake that I've gotten through, how soon after are the funds sent over?
Wonderful. That's a really good question.
Yes.
So depending on how quickly you can have your documents, because after submitting the documents, there's also going to be a set of contract documents that you're going to have to have generate, download, signed, certified by just stuff to piece, then submit. As soon as you can, the sooner you get those documents in office, the sooner the disbursement process will take.
Yes.
So, and after submitting those documents, they will be vetted. We've confirmed the registration with the school. Once everything is sorted out between us and the school, because once you complete the application, it's not between us and UTech. For example, you're attending UTech. It will be between us and UTech. And once registration is confirmed, we'll move and push your application forward for disbursement.
Okay.
Okay, so the process is quite easy.
Okay.
But that's a really good question, though. A lot of persons would want to know how long does disbursement take.
Yes.
And my number one recommendation is for them to submit the required documents as soon as possible.
Okay, great. And so in terms of for persons who apply to the Student Loan Bureau, are there any benefits in terms of applying there?
Well, there's a lot of benefits. There's a lot of benefits. For example, for persons who are in the PATH program, persons who are also, what I have to say, these are persons who are, for example, living in homes.
Yes.
Right? They automatically benefit from a $60,000 grant in aid.
Okay.
And that is just wonderful. That is just wonderful. No guarantor before, no guarantors are required for them, but they actually benefit. There's no processing fee for them as well.
Yes.
So no processing fee for persons who are awarded at the state. For persons who are on the PATH program, you also receive a discount in the processing fee.
Okay.
Right? You're also automatically selected for the grantee need as well of $60,000 per academic year.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good.
Also, for the Students Loan Bureau, for persons who are applying for the Students Loan Bureau and also on the JAMVAT program, we will cover for 70% of the tuition amount once you have satisfied or meet the requirement for JAMVAT as well, because we are aware that they will actually support at least 30% of the tuition amount.
Okay, that's
So we
good.
will disburse at least 70, we will cover for up to 70%.
That's great.
As well. Yeah, the Students Loan Bureau as well, along with the grant that we do offer on a day-to-day basis, on an annual basis.
Yes.
You also benefit from the low interest rate that we provide here at the Students Loan Bureau as well. In comparison to a lot of other companies, it's the lowest interest rate island-wide. The lowest interest rate island-wide. Once you maintain a good standing, once you maintain a good GPA as well, your application should be fine.
Okay, great. Because there are so many other options out there, as you mentioned and as earlier, in terms of financial institutions. So I'm really glad that SLB is making it affordable and easy for persons just to come in. And pertaining to a deadline, is there a deadline for the application?
Currently, there's no deadline.
Okay,
no
that's
deadline.
good.
Actually, the portal is open. There's no assigned deadline as yet. You can visit our website at www.slbja.com. That's at www.slbja.com. Start the application process as soon as you can.
Yes.
You may not get an acceptance letter as yet from all your institutions. Go ahead and start the process. You might have results pending, but go ahead and start the process. You may have a second thought regarding another program, but go ahead and start the application. You might have a lot of other questions, but guess what? Go ahead and start the process with the application.
Yes.
We want to help build your community. We want to help fund your dream. We want to help fund your family. We want to help transform your family as well.
Yes,
okay?
true.
We want to help build and develop Jamaica. And that's why you're here, the Students Loan Bureau, to finance your dreams.
All right, Mr. Harvey. So we're going to go now to the chat. All right, so we have some questions here for you, Mr. Harvey. So someone is asking, after finishing the application process, do you have to pay the fee before submitting the documents?
No, you don't have to pay the fees. You can actually go ahead and submit the application.
Yes.
And afterwards, you can make the payments. For the application fee and insurance fee. Generally, the application fee is $6,250.
Okay.
Okay. You can go ahead on our customer portal by logging on, selecting on the dashboard fee payments. Go ahead and make the payments there.
Yes.
Now, for persons who that might not be convenient for you, you can also go ahead at Bill Express, Paymaster, or Scotiabank, or NCB, even so.
All right.
To make the payment for your application and insurance fee.
Okay.
The insurance fee also, I must mention that it's based on there's no set amount. It's based on the program that you're doing and the cost of the program that you're doing.
All right.
Okay. So that's the application fee and insurance fee. You can visit any one of those outlets using your TRN as your account number to make the payment. I must tell you though, if you make the payment via the customer portal, the payment will reflect if so the same day.
Okay.
But if outside of office, it may take up to 3 to 5 working days.
Okay. All right. Can a parent apply for a loan for a child and one for themselves?
That's a really good question. So a parent, so actually a student can apply.
Yes.
They can apply, right? And for persons who are also under the age, because one of the requirements is that you have to be between the age of 18 to 60.
Okay.
Right, for the application to actually
repeat that again. 18 to
60.
Okay.
But we do have that. We do have circumstances in which persons who are not at the age of 18 as yet, for example, they are probably 17 and so on, but they're qualified and they're accepted at the university.
Yes.
But we have documentation that can sign, that parents can actually sign to somewhat give consent to the students applying. Now, for parents applying, if you can apply for a loan on behalf of your student of the child, but you cannot apply for a loan on behalf of the child and also apply for a loan for yourself. So you have to be one application process.
Okay. All right. Great. There was another question right there. When are we going to know we got approved for a loan? So the person is asking, when do you know basically that you've gotten approval for a loan?
Well, with regards to our application process, as soon as you submit the application.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, before you actually submit the application, we update you on each step. So for example, once you have completed the registration process, a notification will be sent to you.
All right.
A prompt notification will be sent to you. advising you that you have actually reached the step of initiation.
Yes.
Once you complete the initiation process and start the application, you will receive a notification as well with regards to verifying of your TRN and so on, right?
Yes.
So we'll give you prompt response as sooner, the further you go in the application process. So even as you submit the application, probably within 3 to 5 working days or less,
okay,
you receive a notification. And you don't have to worry, for those who may have concern and anxiety, 99% of the persons who apply for loan products, 99% of the persons who apply do benefit.
Okay, great. Okay. All right, so this question, I think you mentioned it, but I just want you to repeat it. How much is the processing fee? What's the cost?
So the processing fee is actually $6,250.
Okay, great.
And as I said, persons who are on the PATH program, they benefit from a 35% discount
yes,
in the processing fee.
Okay.
Persons who are out of the state, no processing fee for you.
Oh, great.
Okay. Also, I should have mentioned as well for the benefits, these are persons who are public sector employees.
Okay.
They benefit also from a reduction in the processing fee.
Okay.
Well. All right. They benefit also from a 35% discount in the processing fee.
Okay.
And a 1% discount in the interest rate. So the interest rate that is 7.8% will be 6.8%.
Okay.
In repayment, that will be reduced as well to at least 8.5%.
Okay. And another question, it says here, what if my course is not on the portal? All right.
Well, that's a really good question. And I've actually encountered a customer actually this week with regards to the same issue. They wanted
yes,
to apply for a particular program and they weren't seeing it reflecting on our platform. But in office, in the loan processing department, you can do feel free to stop by our office or even so send us an email.
Yes.
And we will take a look on the application, take a look on the program that you're pursuing. I will try and make the relevant adjustment to actually facilitate your application.
All right, all right. I'm not seeing if there's any other more questions. All right, so we have another one. It says here, what other move should I make after paying the application fee?
So after paying the application fee, what you should do afterwards is you receive a notification regarding the approval of your loan.
Yes.
Right? You'll be given instructions to download a few contract documents. These documents are like the promissory note, certificate of agreement. You would have uploaded the consent form already, along with the other personal documents that you would have uploaded. Those would have to be submitted in office.
Okay.
So you can have these submitted in office via our courier service, or you can stop by our office in New Kingston area. We are 63 to 67 North Boulevard.
Okay.
We're first and second floor. You can stop by our first floor. That's where the loan processing department is. You utilize our Dropbox facility and submit those documents. So once you submit those documents, as I said, they will be vetted and processed from there on. Okay, thank you. Any other questions? I'm not seeing any more questions there for us. All right, so Mr. Harvey, I don't know if there's anything else that you want for our viewers or those listening and watching to hear, any other important details as we wrap up. Okay. What I would want to encourage persons to do when completing the application, well, actually, I want to reiterate the fact that you do not need any guarantor anymore. No guarantor is required, and there's no catch, there's no strings attached, there's no surprise, there's nothing, there's no hook, there's nothing. You do not need any guarantor, so you can go ahead and start the application process. I remember when I actually went ahead to pursue my tertiary education, and financial difficulties was one of the first hurdles. Yeah. And that's what prevented me at the first time. But we are making it easier, and I would like to believe that this is actually the best time to be an applicant of the Student Loan Bureau. That's true. The best time to pursue your tertiary education. Yes. Because it's way easier with all the grants you're benefiting from, with all the loans and the interest rates, the low interest rate that can actually benefit from here at the Student Loan Bureau. True. It's way easier, and now is the best time to apply. All right, thank you. So you've just heard from the man from the Students Loan Bureau, Mr. Chevon Harvey. All right, you've just heard from him of all the options, the benefits, what it is that you need to do, the application process, where to go, fees, so many things that's there. So we thank you so much, Mr. Harvey, for coming in and sharing your knowledge pertaining to the Student Loan Bureau. And so coming up next, all right, we're going to be having the one and only Dr. Sophia McIntosh, who is the director
from the UTech Open School of Lifelong Learning and Professional Development. And you'll be hearing more about, in terms of UTech Open, what is that? How does that relate to you and the pre-registration form? And so before we go on our break, all right, the chat was blowing up once again. Please share, like, subscribe, comment pertaining to the YouTube channel for the University of Technology Jamaica. So the chat blew up in terms of the programs that it is that you would be doing. I want for you to tell us in the chat, blow it up, whether it is that you want to even show the emojis, the fire emojis, the clap hands. I want for you to tell us, how did you feel when you got that acceptance letter? I remember when I got my acceptance letter, I was excited, I was elated. Come and say, yeah, me I got a university, yes, me I start my education, yes, me I get my degree. So I want for you to tell us in the chat persons, how did you feel after you got that acceptance in your email from the University of Technology Jamaica? How it is that, how did you feel? So share with us in the chat, all right? So you're listening to us live, the pre-registration form 2024, brought to you by the University of Technology Jamaica, the birthplace of greatness.
Technology Jamaica. Knowledge is not only about what you put in, but also what you get out. The independence of thought, willingness to act, the determination to achieve excellence. Calling cards of the pioneers who are shaping our future through knowledge, through nation building, through community involvement, through individual empowerment. The University of Technology Jamaica. Excellence through knowledge.
You know them, the movers, the shakers, the people making a difference, who never shy away from a challenge, who are never afraid to dirty their hands, to jump in and get things done, who are never afraid to fail, to take a risk, to learn. You know them and aspire to be like them. And you can, because there's always room for greatness. Apply today. University of Technology Jamaica, the birthplace of greatness.
At the University of Technology Jamaica, knowledge is not only about what you put in, but also what you get out. The independence of thought, willingness to act, the determination to achieve excellence. Calling cards of the pioneers who are shaping our future through knowledge, through nation building, through community involvement, through individual empowerment. The University of Technology Jamaica. Excellence through knowledge.
You know them, the movers, the shakers, the people making a difference, who never shy away from a challenge, who are never afraid to dirty their hands, to jump in and get things done, who are never afraid to fail, to take a risk, to learn. You know them and aspire to be like them. And you can, because there's always room for greatness. Apply today. University of Technology Jamaica, the birthplace of greatness.
Welcome back to the pre-registration forum 2024, brought to you by the University of Technology Jamaica. All right, you are here, the birthplace of greatness, hashtag legacy, hashtag UTech night. And so, all right, if you've missed so far, don't worry, all right, we still have a lot more. I am your host, your moderator, Richard Davis. And so, coming to us right now, she'll be joining us virtually. We have Dr. Sophia McIntosh, and she is the director for the UTech Open School of Lifelong Learning and Professional Development. Dr. McIntosh, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear. Are you hearing me?
Yes, Dr. McIntosh, I'm hearing you also loud and clear. How are you doing today?
I am great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing awesome. I'm doing great. All right, so we have you right here looking nice and beautiful, your background and everything. All right, and so we're going to be going right into it. So, Dr. McIntosh, can you tell us, all right, what are the courses and programs offered by UTech Open?
Well, first of all, I would like to say welcome, students. It's a pleasure speaking to you. I want to tell them that UTech Open is really the School of Lifelong Learning and Professional Development. And UTech Open is here to serve students who may not have acquired their traditional CXC passes. So if those students, let's say, did not get their foundation math, I'm sorry, they did not get their CXC math or English, biology, chemistry, physics, IT, econ, accounts, then they can come to UTech Open and enroll and get those foundation courses that will allow them to matriculate into their program of choice. So there is no excuse anymore to say that, okay, I did not get my CXCs, so I can't access UTech Open or access UTech, the University of Technology, Jamaica. I want the students to know that UTech is accessible, and UTech provides different pathways for students to enter the university. So I want students to be aware and tell their fellow colleagues, tell their family members that, hey, if it is that we weren't successful in our CXCs, then there's still an opportunity for us to access the programs at the university via UTech Open. They can do those foundation courses at UTech Open.
Great. And because gone are the days where it is that it's, as you mentioned, Dr. McIntosh, the conventional way in terms
You're
of
very
matriculate.
low. I'm not hearing you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm sorry
I'm hearing
about that.
you now, yes.
All right.
Yes.
So I was saying, gone are the days where it was just the conventional way in matriculating into university. And I'm really glad that UTech Jamaica provides this avenue, provide this openness for persons to come. And so for persons know what it is, what are the requirements to do a course or module at UTech Open?
Well, as I said before, if the students, if they don't have their CXC passes, then they can come to us. So in order to enroll in our pre-university programs, there is really no requirement. You don't get your CXC passes, come to UTech Open, and we will enroll you and ensure that we prepare you for the faculty or the college that you desire to pursue your bachelor's.
Okay, all right, thank you. So how can UTech Open, doing a course at UTech Open, how can it help me matriculate into UTech Jamaica?
Well, that's an excellent point. And I want to tell the students also that apart from the foundation courses that we offer, and I just gave you a long list of foundation courses that we offer, which are alternative to the CXCs. Yes. I just mentioned the mathematics, the foundation of academic literacies, and that is the alternative to English language, introduction to biology, physics, chemistry, IT. I must hasten to say also that we have an associate degree in business administration. Great. So if students have, let's say, 4 CXC passes and they don't have the math or the English, what we will do is to take those students and ensure that we prepare them to matriculate if they want to do a bachelor in business administration. We take the students and we prepare them for the BBA, and yes, when they go over to the School of Business Administration, they would have advanced placements. Okay. So the modules that they would have completed at UTech Open, there would be no need to redo those modules because Great. They would have already passed those modules. Excellent. So again, if the students also, do the foundation courses, as I mentioned, and I keep mentioning, that they have an opportunity. So I know there are some students who are waiting on their CXC passes, and there may be students who don't get the CXC math, don't get the CXC English that they require, or the science subjects to matriculate in their programs, I want to tell the students, don't feel bad. Don't feel as if the world has come to an end.
Yes.
Don't feel university is not for you. I want to reiterate that university is for everybody. UTech is the people's university. And being the people's university, one of the things that we do is to ensure that we don't leave any students behind, and we hold the students' hands, and we ensure that their program of choice, they matriculate and they're able to succeed, because we believe that every student can learn, and every student should learn, and every student must. So I want to encourage the students to seek out the opportunities that are available at UTech Open to get you to qualify for your program of choice if it is that you were not successful in your CXC passes.
And even
we
as
also have
Sorry,
yes.
go ahead.
And we're in the process, so we're in the process, we are going to roll out some additional associate degrees. And I just want to, for additional information, the students can contact us. Our contact number is 927-5857. That's 927-5857. And if they need additional information, they can send us an email at utechopen@utech.edu.jm. That is utechopen@utech.edu.jm.
Thank you, Dr. McKittrick. And I just can feel your passion. I can feel and sense that level of zeal that you have for persons who have not gone through the conventional way, to let them know that this option is available where you can use to matriculate. And so another question, can I enter UTech, all right? Can I enter UTech without courses or foundation modules available at UTech Open?
Yes, you can. So if you have no CXCs at all, you can enter and you can do the foundation courses. And as I said, we're here to facilitate, we're here to assist.
Yes.
And we just want to get the word out there, Mr. Davis, that, the traditional pathway, we are not just recognizing the traditional pathway, because we are aware that there are different certifications. The world has changed.
Yes.
And, we are accepting different certifications now, because as a country, the university, and it's the president's mandate, is that we should not leave any student behind. And, part of national development is to ensure that more of our students are enrolled in higher education. And that's the mandate from the government of Jamaica.
Yes.
And our president has ensured that the objectives of the university is aligned, with the mandate of the national development. The mandate of the government is to ensure that we have other pathways, alternative pathways, to ensure that more of our people are engaged at the higher education level. Because if you look at first world countries, that's where they're going. They're ensuring that more of their citizens are enrolled in higher education. Yes. And as I said, as the national university, we have an obligation. We have an obligation to ensure that our mission is aligned to that of the government. And I just want to commend our president for ensuring that our mission is aligned to the government's mission. And as a result of that, he has been very, very disciplined and resilient in ensuring that UTech Open has the facility to ensure that more of our students, get the higher education that they need.
That is true. And so what are some of the foundation courses or modules offered at UTech Open?
Well, some of the foundation courses, as I said before, all the science subjects, the biology, the chemistry, the physics, the mathematics, English, information technology, economics. So those are the foundation courses. And if it is that, there are the foundation courses that I've listed, if it is that we have students who are interested in pursuing other foundation courses, we are, we're open to offer those. As I said before, we are the people's university, and we listen to the needs, and if there are additional needs as it relates to more foundation courses, we are extending our hand. Dr. McLennan spoke earlier that one of the things that we want to do is to ensure that we inform the students that, hey, there are different pathways, there are different as it relates to financing your higher education, there are different opportunities. So all the students on this platform, Mr. Davis, I want to encourage all of them that there is an avenue for you. And there is no done students.
Yes.
There are no, done students. We don't believe in that at the university.
Yes.
We don't believe that, you have bright and you have done. So there's an opportunity for everybody. And if it is that, it didn't work out for you, you did not get your passes in high school, it doesn't mean that the world is going to come to an end and you will never shine.
Yes.
There is an opportunity for you to shine, and you can come to UTech Open because there are possibilities everywhere. So please don't give up on yourselves.
Yes.
And that's why we're here. So please, students on the platform, parents, if we have parents on the platform, please spread the word that UTech Open School of Lifelong Learning and Professional Development is here to provide pathways for students to matriculate into the colleges and faculties.
Thank you so much, Dr. McIntosh. And so another question, is UTech Open a college or faculty?
It is a school. It is UTech Open School of Lifelong Learning and Professional Development.
Okay, great. And another question, how long is the application process for a course at UTech Open?
It's quick, very quick, because we know that the students are eager to enter university. So as long as we, you express your interest, we send you the application form. The turnaround time is very quick. We don't delay, because we know that parents are anxious to get their students enrolled in a tertiary institution. So our turnaround is very fast. I encourage the students also to give us a call, because we have other associate degrees. So the students may not be interested in doing the foundation courses. I want to tell them also that we have associate degrees, and I mentioned the associate in business administration.
Yes.
And we also have additional associate degrees, because we are now we have expressed an interest to participate in the sixth form pathway program. So we have about 7 associate degrees that are in the pipeline that we intend to roll out in short order. So students can also enter, via the associate degrees. And once they have and the associate degrees are across disciplines. They're across IT, engineering, the sciences, the sciences, joint colleges. So they are across our faculties and colleges.
Yes.
And the students can use those associate degrees once they have completed to get advanced placement in their program. So again, I want to just reiterate that we have the foundation courses,
yes,
which are the alternative to CXCs. If the students say, hey, I don't want to do those foundation courses for whatever reason, then we have the associate degrees, which is another pathway, you know. And
Yes.
I just, as I said, higher education students is trending. And if you look across the world, that is where the government is placing emphasis. And I know higher education is a priority for the
Yes.
government. So I just want to encourage you. It didn't happen at sixth form, not to worry. There's another pathway. If you apply to UTech in any one of your colleges and faculties and you were not successful, there is also another opportunity. So there is no excuse.
Yes.
And I just want to encourage, please don't let anybody tell you that higher education is not trending. And I know you don't believe that, because if you did, then you would not be participating in this forum.
Definitely.
I know you believe that higher education is trending, and you may have cousins, you may have other family members, friends, and they think that, okay, it is doomed for me. I'm doomed because I was not successful. I want you to educate them, and I want you to tell them that in order for me as an individual to grow, in order for me to provide for my family, in order for me to break any kind of generational poverty, I will have to educate myself, and
Yes.
education is the way out. So I want to encourage everyone not to, you know, believe, because there is a flawed argument sometimes that education is not important. I don't want you to believe that,
Yes.
because we have done the research and we see where the world is going, and we
Definitely.
need persons who are skilled at the higher education level.
Thank you. So in terms of pursuing any form of an associate at UTech Open, I know persons have their different lifestyles, persons have their families,
Yes.
persons have job, whatever the situation may be. Are there programs there that are full-time and part-time?
Yes, yes. So as I said, as the People's University, we have to respond to the needs of our target audience, and high school students, they
Yes.
are one of our target audience. And if it is that the students are requesting to do part-time, then we will facilitate. If it is that they want full-time, we'll facilitate. If it is that they want face-to-face, we will facilitate, or online. We, in the associate degree now, the majority of our students prefer to have online classes, and that's the modality. So as I said before, we are flexible. Times are changing. No longer, we are just presenting something and say that you have to take it. We listen to our students, and they are our major stakeholder, and we have to ensure that whatever we do, we are meeting their needs. So if it is that the cohort says to us that we prefer online, then we will offer that, because we understand that people are living busy lives and the world has changed. No, it is a technology infused era where everything now it's about the technology, and we're using the technology to meet the needs of our students. So we're very flexible as it relates to part-time, full-time, face-to-face, or online.
Awesome, awesome. And are there any other locations for UTech Open?
Definitely. We have 3 locations. We are at the Papine campus. We are at Montego Bay, that's 17 Dome Street. And we are in Ocho Rios, that's Simmons Plaza. So again, part of our mandate to increase access. So while we're using the technology to increase access and ensure that we have students from all over Jamaica, we also have these physical locations, which is an indication of our commitment to increasing access and ensuring that as the national university, more of our people have access to our programs at UTech.
Thank you so much, Dr. McIntosh. And we're going to go live right now, or rather, we're going to go to the questions live that was being posted in the chat. We have a few questions here. So one of the questions, Dr. McIntosh, someone is asking, so can we do the open learning while completing our degree? Can someone do a course or a module at UTech Open while completing their degree?
Well, first of all, you have to meet the matriculation requirements. So if it is that, let's say you need biology and it is a requirement for a program, then you will not be accepted in that program until you have met the matriculation requirement. Because one of the things that, you have to understand that we are accredited by the university, by UCJ, and we have to ensure that there is academic rigor. And when you say you have a degree from UTech, nobody can question, that degree. So we have to ensure that we observe the standards. So you will have to first meet the matriculation requirement, and then you'll be allowed to participate in your program of choice.
Thank you.
So I would encourage persons, if you need a biology now, if you need a physics, the course that you need to get into your program, then it is best to enroll at UTech Open, and you have to meet that requirement first before you're accepted in your program.
Excellent. Now, is there a cost associated with doing a course or module or an associate at UTech Open?
Yes, there is a cost. If you want to do, and this is subject to change. So if you want to do the associate degree now, the current associate degree in business administration, and that's per year. And
I'm sorry, Dr. McIntosh, can you repeat that? Because you chipped out a little bit.
Yes, $320,000.
Okay.
Yes, and as Dr. McLennan said, there are options to finance your tuition. And, I don't have to different options. And we also have payment plans at UTech Open.
Okay. And how long does these foundational courses last?
The foundation courses, they last a year. Yes, 1 year.
Okay, great.
The associate degree is 2 years. So they would do a 2 + 2. So they would do 2 years. And then they would move on, and I'm speaking specifically the associate degree in business administration, and then they would move on to the additional 2 years in School of Business Administration. And as I said before, they would be exempted from the courses that they would have done at UTech Open.
All right. And so someone who's sitting, someone who's listening now, has now received some level of hope, because here it is that UTech Open is available, and I see hope, I see light at the end of the tunnel where I can go ahead and do my university education. How can they get in? I know you said it earlier, but how can you repeat it? How can they get in contact with UTech Open?
Sure. So they can contact us. Our telephone number is 876-927-5857. So that's 876-927-5857. And our email address is utechopen@utech.edu.jm. So that's utechopen@utech.edu.jm.
All right.
And Mr. Davis, I just want to leave a nugget with the students. I remember when I was in high school, my principal would say to me, "You are as good as any and better than many." You are as good as any and better than many. And I just want to leave that with the students, that you are as good as any and better than many. And I encourage you to unleash your full potential. We all have potential. Unleash it. And don't let anybody say anything to you that is negative to hold you back.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
So,
Dr. McIntosh.
yes, it's a pleasure.
Yes. And thank you so much, Jordan. I tell you,
And
I'm
thank
just
you, Mr.
feeling,
Davis.
I'm just feeling that level of passion and zeal that you have for UTech Open and for persons to pursue their higher education. And so, persons, you've just heard from Dr. Sophia McIntosh, the director for the UTech Open School of Lifelong Learning and Professional Development. So you have the options available to you. Hope is still alive. And hope is still rising, because your tertiary education is awaiting you. So take the opportunity and take this step. Thank you, Dr. McIntosh.
Thank you, Sir Davis. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You're welcome.
Take your students all the best.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And we'd also like to greet also the parents, the guardians, and everyone. And so coming up on the other side of the break, you're going to be hearing from the Prior Learning Assessment Coordinator, which is in the person of Mrs. Sandy Lawrence. She'll be coming up on the other side of the break. Pre-registration forum 2024, brought to you by the University of Technology Jamaica, the birthplace of greatness.
At the University of Technology Jamaica, knowledge is not only about what you put in, but also what you get out. The independence of thought, willingness to act, the determination to achieve excellence. Calling cards of the pioneers who are shaping our future through knowledge, through nation building, through community involvement, through individual empowerment. The University of Technology Jamaica, excellence through knowledge.
You know them, the movers, the shakers, the people making a difference, who never shy away from a challenge, who are never afraid to dirty their hands, to jump in and get things done, who are never afraid to fail, to take a risk, to learn. You know them and aspire to be like them. And you can, because there's always room for greatness. Apply today. University of Technology Jamaica, the birthplace of greatness.
All right, welcome back to the pre-registration forum 2024. I am your host, I am your coordinator, I am your moderator, I'm your everything. My name is Richard Davis. All right, hashtag greatness, hashtag excellence. And so if you're just joining us, all right, you've heard so much. You've heard from financing, you've heard from enrollment, you've heard from SLB, and we finished just now with UTech Open. And so we're running down and we're ending. And joining me on set live, all right, I have the beautiful and lovely Mrs. Sandy Lawrence, and she is the coordinator for the Prior Learning Assessment, all right? And so good afternoon, Mrs. Lawrence. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
All right, great. And so for persons who are listening now and watching, what is Prior Learning Assessment?
Well, Prior learning assessment is really an internationally recognized system of assessment.
Yes.
It is used to allow applicants and students to identify and document their prior learning experiences.
Yes.
And it allows us as a university to assess what it is they produce and recognize it for what it is worth.
Okay.
So in essence, it allows students or applicants to matriculate into our programs.
Yes.
And also, once they're registered students, it can facilitate their acceleration through the program.
Thank you. And how can this system, how can PLA for short, can assist someone in terms of a benefit as an applicant to UTech Jamaica?
All right, so Dr. McIntosh just spoke of the foundation courses that are offered at UTech Open as, you know, different pathways for persons to gain entry. The PLA system allows another pathway, but more so for persons who are coming with other kinds of qualifications besides what is normally required. So, you know, typically to get into an undergraduate degree, you need 5 CSEC.
Yes.
Persons may be coming with some, along with other kinds of certification, other kinds of post-secondary certification, may be obtained from HART or some other post-secondary institution.
Yes.
They may have studied abroad and have their high school diploma.
Oh,
right?
That's
we
good.
assess
That's
those
great.
as well. Or persons may be coming with some of the academic requirements, but also some work experience, some you know, significant amount of work experience. We normally ask for a minimum of about 3 years, you know, to ensure that the persons are coming with sufficient knowledge, sufficient skills to be able to function within the program. So the unit assesses all of that. You know, we are not in the habit of turning people away. So we try to provide various avenues for persons to get in. So persons are coming with those unusual sorts of qualifications, besides the CSEC and the GCE.
Yes.
We look at it, and we look at the whole picture.
Okay.
Right? And in some instances, we may invite persons to an interview just to get a better sense of what they bring to the table.
Yes.
We will do research into the background of the qualifications, make sure that they're legit, make sure that, you know, they cover the scope and breadth of the programs that these persons are presenting certification for is substantial enough for us to make a determination as to their ability to function at the tertiary level.
Okay.
We do this for our undergraduate students. We also do it at the graduate level, but this is not the forum to talk about graduate matriculation. But I'm just putting it in, just in case anyone who is joining us may be interested in enrolling for a graduate program, and if they don't have what is required, prior learning assessment can be used to facilitate entry.
That's great. And so what of students who have been accepted into our programs here at UTech Open? How can PLA benefit them?
Right, so that's where the acceleration comes in now.
Yes.
So for our registered undergraduate students who are coming with a wealth of industry experience and who would have acquired certain competencies that are also expected to be delivered in the program, we don't encourage duplication of learning. It's wasting time.
True.
Right, they come in with the experience, we say, let us assess what you have, right? So for our students, our incoming students, when you get your module selection guide, look through it, see whether or not there are any modules there for which you are almost certain that you already have the competence. Right? And then, you know, we can have a conversation about how we can help you to not have to do those modules the normal way, right? If you're working and, you know, it's difficult for you to schedule the time to be at class and you already have the competence that are required for a particular module, we do not encourage you to get in trouble with your boss, right? To skip work and come to class. We say, come and let us help you to facilitate your acceleration through that module. And we provide 2 options by which this can be done. One is through a one-off challenge exam that is administered at during the normal exam period at the end of the semester. Right? And what it requires, you get your course outline. You go and study. You turn up for your exam. Because you claim that you have the competence, so you don't need to be at class. And we respect people's time. We respect the value that people bring to the teaching learning experience. So we don't encourage you to come and sit and learn things that you do on a daily basis. As we said, that's a waste of time, and we don't encourage it. Right? And then the other option now would be for the student to develop a portfolio.
Yes.
Right? And this portfolio would include documented evidence that the student would put together that can be verified by someone who would have had an opportunity to observe, assess, evaluate your performance, and so on. So they'll put the portfolio together. It will be assessed by a subject matter expert.
Yes.
And if it satisfies the instrument, they get the credits and they move on.
Okay, that's so great.
Yes.
And so after it is that, after you've spoken, if someone listening now, how can I get started in terms of going through the process?
All right, so if you are an applicant who is seeking to matriculate, submit your application.
Simple as that.
Yes, submit your application for whichever program you are interested in. If it is that after the application goes to the program director, or if the admissions representative reviews the application, if it is seen that the person does not meet the standard entry requirements, if it is that it's subjects that are missing, the application will be routed to the UTech Open. If it is that it's those other kinds of certification that are presented, or if the person has substantial work experience that can be assessed, the applications will come to the PLA unit.
Okay.
Right? And we will do the assessment, and the results will be communicated to the applicant in short order.
Great.
If it is that it's a registered undergraduate student who wants to gain the exemptions for the modules because they already have the competence, the first step in the process is to speak to me.
Yes.
Right? Or whoever it is that represents the PLA unit, right?
Yes.
So the first step is to speak to me. My contact details are on screen.
Okay.
Right, drop me an email and we will send you a Google form and you complete it, and then we will schedule an advisement session. And what we will do, we'll provide you with information about the process. We will share with you the policy items as it relates to module exemption, so you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yes.
We will share with them their responsibilities as well as our responsibilities, so everything is on the table.
Yes.
All right. They'll indicate what modules they're interested in challenging. We call it challenge. You're taking on a module. You're not going to class and having teacher teach you. You're taking it on. So we call it a challenge, right?
Yes.
So they'll indicate the modules that they're interested in challenging, and we will communicate that to the program director.
Yes.
But then the student needs to meet with the program director to get permission to challenge a module.
Okay.
Right? Because PLA unit doesn't have the handle on all the subject matters, right?
That's
So
true.
we don't make the decisions. We facilitate the process.
Yes.
So the program director is the one who makes the decisions.
Okay.
Once the student is approved to challenge a module, then that information comes back to us, and then the mechanism starts. Right? We put things in motion. So, if it's a challenge exam, we will notify the lecturer who is going to set the exam, and the information will be shared with the student in terms of how to proceed.
Yes.
If it's a portfolio the student is approved to challenge, then we invite them to a workshop where we teach them how to develop their portfolio, provide them with guidance over a month or so. At the end of it, they submit their portfolios for assessment. And so at the end of the semester now, the student will get the outcome, whether or not it's a pass or fail.
All right, thank you so much, Mrs. Lawrence. So already, as you can see, everyone, the contact details are there pertaining to getting through to the PLA unit. And Mrs. Lawrence, if you have any information, if you need any clarification or anything like that. So I'm not sure if we have any questions. Persons in the chat right now. I'm not sure if it is that we have any questions, and why it is that we do that, Mrs. Lawrence. I don't know if it is that you have any final words as you wrap up to say to our viewers and our listeners.
Well, just to say, I just want to reiterate what Dr. McIntosh said about, not having an excuse to not achieve your goals. UTech is making it accessible. So we're big on increasing access.
Yes.
So the UTech Open is there, the PLA unit is here, and we work to get persons into the programs that they are interested in pursuing. We provide various mechanisms by which the applications can be assessed and a determination can be made regarding their ability to enter.
Yes.
And on top of that, the PLA unit will help you to get out of here faster, right? So depending on the number of modules you're able to challenge and get the credits, we may be able to shave off a semester or two.
Yeah, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't?
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, time is money.
Yes.
And, you know, if you don't have to be in a traditional classroom, because the prior learning assessment, it is really hinged on the assumption that significant learning occurs outside the classroom.
Yes.
Right? And we are an institution that values work readiness.
Yes.
Right? So if persons are already coming with the work readiness,
Sure.
it makes it easier for us to boast, but it also enriches the teaching learning experience.
That it does.
And it is not our aim to frustrate the students. If you have the competence, please don't sit and learn it all over again. Come to us, we will facilitate.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's as simple as that.
That's
we
true.
will facilitate your acceleration, and you can get your degree maybe a little bit sooner.
Definitely.
Right, or with a little less hassle
Yes.
than otherwise.
All right, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. So you've just heard from Mrs. Sandy Lawrence, the Prior Learning Assessment Coordinator. So there are so many options available for you here at UTech Jamaica. And so just as it is, as we wrap up right now and we're closing, it was a pleasure having you here this afternoon, this morning into afternoon, and this year for pre-registration form 2024. Some important dates that you need to be aware of, all right? So our orientation dates, all right? So that's the week of welcome, wow, all right? So that's the orientation date. It's August 18th to 24th, 2024, obviously. So orientation date, August 18 to 24, and also please don't go anywhere and one person for the various programs that you'll be doing. In the description, all right, on the YouTube page, we'll be going straight into our academic advisement. So you might be asking questions. Do I need uniforms? Where do I get my equipments? What do I need to do? All of those things, whatever program it is that you're doing, the various schools, the various colleges, the various faculties, within the description bar, all right, the link is there. I want for you to go ahead and to click that link, and it will take you into your various breakout rooms where you get all the other questions you might be asking and everything else that you'll be needing to know. It is right there. So we're going into the academic advisement once again. It was a pleasure having you this year. Thank you to the production team. Thank you to everyone who put all of this together. The Office of Admissions, Enrollment and Management, OAEM. All right, thank you so much. And by large, the Department of Student Services and Registry and UTech Jamaica. So it was a pleasure having you here. We had SAB, we had Enrollment, we had UTech Open, we had the lovely lady, all right, Mrs. Sandy Lawrence from Prior Learning Assessment, and I was your host, Richard Davis. Thank you for making it UTech Jamaica. We look forward in welcoming you as you start your new journey and the next chapter of your life. God bless you and enjoy the rest of your afternoon and tomorrow.
At the University of Technology Jamaica, knowledge is not only about what you put in, but also what you get out. The independence of thought, willingness to act, the determination to achieve excellence. Calling cards of the pioneers who are shaping our future through knowledge, through nation building, through community involvement, through individual empowerment. The University of Technology Jamaica, excellence through knowledge.
You know them, the movers, the shakers, the people making a difference, who never shy away from a challenge, who are never afraid to dirty their hands, to jump in and get things done, who are never afraid to fail, to take a risk, to learn. You know them and aspire to be like them. And you can, because there's always room for greatness. Apply today. University of Technology Jamaica, the birthplace of greatness.
Hi, welcome to UTech Center for the Arts. The center was established in 1998 to create a space for the expression of art. We offer drumming, dancing, choir, steel pan, visual arts, drama, and an instrumental band. Greatness is honed at the center, as we not only offer these forms of art as extracurricular activities, but also as a course. So what are you interested in? Let's continue to birth greatness.
At the University of Technology Jamaica, knowledge is not only about what you put in, but also what you get out. The independence of thought, willingness to act, the determination to achieve excellence. Calling cards of the pioneers who are shaping our future through knowledge, through nation building, through community involvement, through individual empowerment. The University of Technology Jamaica, excellence through knowledge.
You know them, the movers, the shakers, the people making a difference, who never shy away from a challenge, who are never afraid to dirty their hands, to jump in and get things done, who are never afraid to fail, to take a risk, to learn. You know them and aspire to be like them. And you can, because there's always room for greatness. Apply today. University of Technology Jamaica, the birthplace of greatness.
Hi, welcome to UTech Center for the Arts. The center was established in 1998 to create a space for the expression of art. We offer drumming, dancing, choir, steel pan, visual arts, drama, and an instrumental band. Greatness is honed at the center, as we not only offer these forms of art as extracurricular activities, but also as a course. So what are you interested in? Let's continue to birth greatness.
At the University of Technology Jamaica, knowledge is not only about what you put in, but also what you get out. The independence of thought, willingness to act, the determination to achieve excellence. Calling cards of the pioneers who are shaping our future through knowledge, through nation building, through community involvement, through individual empowerment. The University of Technology Jamaica, excellence through knowledge.
You know them, the movers, the shakers, the people making a difference, who never shy away from a challenge, who are never afraid to dirty their hands, to jump in and get things done, who are never afraid to fail, to take a risk, to learn. You know them and aspire to be like them. And you can, because there's always room for greatness. Apply today. University of Technology Jamaica, the birthplace of greatness.
Hi, welcome to UTech Center for the Arts. The center was established in 1998 to create a space for the expression of art. We offer drumming, dancing, choir, steel pan, visual arts, drama, and an instrumental band. Greatness is honed at the center, as we not only offer these forms of art as extracurricular activities, but also as a course. So what are you interested in? Let's continue to birth greatness.
At the University of Technology Jamaica, knowledge is not only about what you put in, but also what you get out. The independence of thought, willingness to act, the determination to achieve excellence. Calling cards of the pioneers who are shaping our future through knowledge, through nation building, through community involvement, through individual empowerment. The University of Technology Jamaica, excellence through knowledge.
You know them, the movers, the shakers, the people making a difference, who never shy away from a challenge, who are never afraid to dirty their hands, to jump in and get things done, who are never afraid to fail, to take a risk, to learn. You know them and aspire to be like them. And you can, because there's always room for greatness. Apply today. University of Technology Jamaica, the birthplace of greatness.
Hi, welcome to UTech Center for the Arts. The center was established in 1998 to create a space for the expression of art. We offer drumming, dancing, choir, steel pan, visual arts, drama, and an instrumental band. Greatness is honed at the center, as we not only offer these forms of art as extracurricular activities, but also as a course. So what are you interested in? Let's continue to birth greatness.
At the University of Technology Jamaica, knowledge is not only about what you put in, but also what you get out. The independence of thought, willingness to act, the determination to achieve excellence. Calling cards of the pioneers who are shaping our future through knowledge, through nation building, through community involvement, through individual empowerment. The University of Technology Jamaica, excellence through knowledge.
You know them, the movers, the shakers, the people making a difference, who never shy away from a challenge, who are never afraid to dirty their hands, to jump in and get things done, who are never afraid to fail, to take a risk, to learn. You know them and aspire to be like them. And you can, because there's always room for greatness. Apply today. University of Technology Jamaica, the birthplace of greatness.
Hi, welcome to UTech Center for the Arts. The center was established in 1998 to create a space for the expression of art. We offer drumming, dancing, choir, steel pan, visual arts, drama, and an instrumental band. Greatness is honed at the center, as we not only offer these forms of art as extracurricular activities, but also as a course. So what are you interested in? Let's continue to birth greatness.
At the University of Technology Jamaica, knowledge is not only about what you put in, but also what you get out. The independence of thought, willingness to act, the determination to achieve excellence. Calling cards of the pioneers who are shaping our future through knowledge, through nation building, through community involvement, through individual empowerment. The University of Technology Jamaica, excellence through knowledge.
You know them, the movers, the shakers, the people making a difference, who never shy away from a challenge, who are never afraid to dirty their hands, to jump in and get things done, who are never afraid to fail, to take a risk, to learn. You know them and aspire to be like them. And you can, because there's always room for greatness. Apply today. University of Technology Jamaica, the birthplace of greatness.
Hi, welcome to UTech Center for the Arts. The center was established in 1998 to create a space for the expression of art. We offer drumming, dancing, choir, steel pan, visual arts, drama, and an instrumental band. Greatness is honed at the center, as we not only offer these forms of art as extracurricular activities, but also as a course. So what are you interested in? Let's continue to birth greatness.
At the University of Technology Jamaica, knowledge is not only about what you put in, but also what